It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome to the Opperman Report. I am your host, private investigator Ed Opperman. You can find me at Opperman Investigations and Digital Forensic Consulting, either by emailing me at oppermaninvestigations@gmail.com. You can go to my website, emailrevealer.com. If you like the show, be sure and check out our Patreon. That's where we put up all the shows Monday to Friday, but we edit out the commercials and we put them up on Patreon. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Opperman Report. And of course, all of our archives are free. You can find them free on Spreaker.com. That's where I put up all the podcasts, brand new material on Friday nights. The rest of the week we play repeats. And if you go there, you'll find our guest today, Dave Olsen. You might know him by his Twitter handle, which is Edward_Bernays. He's a expert on Mr. Kanye West. Hasn't given up, hasn't jumped ship or cut ties yet with Mr. West. Rap game Edward Bernays, but his real name is Dave Olsen. You can find him at DaveMatthewOlsen.com. Mr. Dave Olsen, are you there?
Yeah. Thanks for having me back, Ed. It's actually DavidMatthewOlsen.com, just to correct that URL. But yeah, that's I'm fully doxxed now. When I did reveal my identity on Twitter, it did cause a little bit of a nervous breakdown after some haters came after me and tried to ruin my life. But now I'm over that, so it's all good. Now, yes, I'm public. But I did get attacked by a lot of haters once that happened, and they did wreck my life.
And that's because you're supportive of Kanye West?
Exactly. When you support Kanye, that's the most dangerous game in the world. They come for you. They really come for you.
Well, remind the audience, who is Dave Olsen?
Well, I'm like a former comedian, now more of like a filmmaker. I'm from Los Angeles originally, and I started doing like comedy there as a teenager. I was an early teenage YouTube comedian in the mid-aughts, and I was running around LA a lot as a kid, going to clubs, hanging out in the comedy scene. So I can speak about Hollywood firsthand because I spent between the years of like 16 and 23, I was running around LA, hanging out in hipster-ass nightclubs and seeing, celebrities doing naughty things and shit like that, and also doing comedy. But now I live in Sweden, in Stockholm, Sweden. I've lived here for about 10 years. I moved here for a Swedish girl, as many do, and also the healthcare and the free education, and did a master's out here and all that. So I got a lot of good socialism, but I'm probably moving back to the U.S. soon because Sweden's a bit fucked right now. A little.
That's okay. Now, you said that you're working on a time travel film.
Yeah, it's called Dirty Machines. It's this time travel. It's a TV series about like a future dystopia, utopian dystopia, where time travel is like the new sort of metaverse. Like we've discovered time travel, and then this future time travel empire has embedded itself secretly, covertly into all of human history. So it's a series about our secret history, where we've always been surrounded by time travelers who are just voyeurs and kind of playing in the metaverse as NPCs, and we've had no idea. So it's a fun project. I'm pitching it around Hollywood and stuff, but hey, it's a rough business. So
it's all like people say that Jay-Z, that there's pictures, historic pictures of a guy that looks just like Jay-Z, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're talking about, right?
Jay-Z is a time traveler in Dirty Machines. That is canon to my IP. So
gotcha.
You're right about that, and that's going to be in the series.
See, I got you figured out, Dave. I got you all figured out. Okay, man, listen, what is going on with Kanye? And how did this all start? It started over sneakers or something?
Yeah, well, no, it's very complicated. It's that Kanye wants to do things way more than speakers. He, I would say the best place to start, a real pivotal moment. So, okay, if we do a quick timeline, like in 2016, yeah, that's when Kanye had his first breakdown, right? And they canceled his tour, and Live Nation was going to hold him accountable for like hundreds of millions of dollars. And apparently Jay-Z was, what do you call it when someone collects all your earnings? Jay-Z was, taking all of Kanye's earnings to pay off a Live Nation lawsuit, because they claimed that because Kanye smoked weed, he broke his contract and he caused himself to have a nervous breakdown. When, of course, it's actually the DNC that caused the nervous breakdown by gang stalking him. But, he had his breakdown 2016. And then those were some real sad Kanye years because they put him on the meds. And if you go back and you watch his interview with Charlemagne, he's just a broken man, and he's not that guy. There's also his when he went out to Wyoming, he did an interview with Zane Lowe where he's very drugged out and he doesn't have his confidence. There's actually a really funny moment when he starts talking about Edward Bernays, and then he just stops mid-sentence and goes, I don't even know if people want to hear about this. And it's just so sad because it's like sunken place Kanye, where's that guy that screams, I am Picasso, I am Steve Jobs, I am Disney, I am Shakespeare in the flesh. So Kanye kind of had this slump where he was having more kids with the Kardashians, and he was doing the Hulu show. And then I guess it's all really comes down to, it's really a custody battle, I think, is what's really going on. It's really that Kanye's trying. Kim is apparently they've been playing games with the kids. He tells a story about he was going to fly them out to the Donda 2 release, and then at the last minute, Kim was like, North isn't on the plane. And then Kanye freaked out. He's like, why are you leaving my daughter behind? And he gets agitated. He tried to go to Saint's birthday party, and they wouldn't tell him the address, and he had to harass everyone to give him the address to his own daughter's birthday party. And then apparently when he went there, they were just playing Drake songs that diss Kanye. So he's joked about the movie Get Out is about Kanye, and the Kardashians are the white people have captured him. But but that was what he joked about when he had his first breakdown, and then he was on medication, and he was way more depressed, and he seemed to have a happy marriage with Kim. But now it seems like I think he's off the meds, he started gaining confidence, and he wants to he's basically, he keeps talking crap about the PR lady. Her name is it's this Asian lady. Her name is Tracy something, I think. But there's this PR she's apparently the Rasputin of the Kardashian household or something. Their PR, their publicist, and he's mostly at war with her. And as he claims, all these handlers that are in his house, and all the nannies, and all the babysitters, and the schools. He says he wants his kids to go to his school that he's building, and they don't want to send them to Kanye's school. They want to send their kids to the celebrity school in Calabasas. So at the heart of it, it's really a custody battle, or not even custody. It's just Kanye wants to do joint custody, or he actually wants to get back with Kim, but the whole family has turned their back on him, and they say, you need to be medicated, and you need to be more PR friendly. But what I'll tell you, the most revealing Kanye interview was from last November. He went on this podcast called Drink Champs, which is run by, it's actually based down in Miami, and it's run by the rapper Noriega and this other guy named DJ EFN. And Noriega's a rap legend, and he just has this podcast where he invites rappers on, and they get drunk. They get really drunk. They play question games. He says, Biggie or Tupac, and you have to take a shot if you won't answer. And so a lot of rappers get really drunk. It's a really rambunctious show. People get wild on it. Rappers get messed up, and and they say a lot of wild stuff. So if you go back and you watch the interview from last year, it's the one where Kanye's wearing sunglasses and a bright neon yellow shirt and a leather jacket and gloves. And that's really he really breaks it all down, what he's trying to do. And it's that he wants to go beyond fashion. He wants to literally revolutionize the world. He's been trying to make a deal with IKEA. And I think what he wants to do with IKEA is make low-cost housing to go build in third world countries. That's his vision. His vision is not sneakers anymore. His vision is he literally wants to make very cheap domes.
Well, he should talk to the Clintons about that. They did a great job down in Haiti.
That's where it gets scary, because Kanye has gone down. He did take money from he went down to which country in the Bahamas? He went down to one of those countries down there that the Clintons love.
Haiti?
So that was a bit,
Haiti?
It wasn't Haiti. It was another one down there. No, you know what? It might have been Haiti. I think that Haiti gave him a piece of land to develop. So yeah, that is a bit sus when you think about what the Clintons do down there. But I promise.
Not just the Clintons, by the way. Obama was on that deal before when he was back in the Senate. Okay, when he was still in Chicago. So was Wesley Clark and both of the Bush brothers. It was a bipartisan scam. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not exactly U.S. intervention in Haiti just started recently. We messed that place up a long time ago. Ishmael Reed will tell you about that. I'm trying to read the book Mumbo Jumbo right now, and it's a lot of stuff about Haiti.
Okay, you're talking about the custody with the kids, right? Are you familiar with NT Lawyer, Crazy Days and Nights?
Yes. I used to follow Crazy Days and Nights very closely, but then he talked too much trash on Kanye, and there was so many lies. I think I even dissed him on your pod last time. I said,
did you? I like him.
I like him too. But he's got this weird. I don't like the tips he takes about Kanye. I don't like the stuff he posts about Kanye because he says that one time he accused Kanye saying that Kanye's religion is all a money laundering thing, and I don't know, man. I've watched too many Kanye interviews. I think he's sincere, and I've just got kind of upset by some of what I consider to be blatant lies that guy posts. I like him a lot. I just don't like that he has this weird grudge with Kanye. But what did he say?
He was alleging that perhaps these aren't even Kanye's kids.
Well, that's something I've been thinking about, man, because apparently North was born naturally, and then I think Saint. I can't remember if the second one. I think Saint is the second child, and I can't remember if that was a natural birth or through a surrogate.
Yeah, he's saying surrogates. Yeah,
but for sure, I think the only child maybe that Kim actually gave birth to is North, and he does have a weird fixation where every time he talks about his kids, he talks about North 9 out of 10 times, and you almost never hear him mention the babies. But I don't know. Maybe it's that he doesn't want to maybe it's just it also is his first child, so I'm guessing he has just the strongest relationship with North. I think North kind of saved his life, I think it gave him a reason to live, so I think he probably plays a bit of favorites with her. But yeah, he's definitely, I've wondered about that.
What he says is that this A-list rapper is out talking about his kids. The thing is, though, he doesn't acknowledge most of them because they were born using surrogates. The one child who is his favorite might not even be his, but is still his favorite.
Well, see, that's what I've heard him. If you go and watch, so he did a Drink Champs a year ago. That was giving a background, and then he did another Drink Champs 2 weeks ago, and that's the one where he was going off about Jews right after the anti-Semitic, the DEFCON 3 tweets. He recorded the podcast the day after or something like that. But they pulled the podcast after one day. The media bullied. They've never deleted a Drink Champs episode, and they deleted this one because Noriega got pressured so much to remove it. But I had luckily downloaded it before, so I've been listening to it several times. But there's been weird moments when the other kids are brought up, and he kind of brushes them off. So I will say I give that some credibility, that I've seen Kanye actually he only talks about North most of the time. Sometimes he talks about Saint because Saint is in school now, and he'll talk about, I'm doing my homework I'm helping Saint do his homework, and he'll talk about that stuff. But you never hear him talk about the last two kids. Never. I don't even know their names because he never says that. So, and what I do think is, one of my theories is that obviously he signed 1 million contracts when he married Kim Kardashian. Obviously this is basically an arranged marriage in Hollywood, and I'm sure they had 1 million prenups and a bunch of things. And what I worry about, my real get out type nightmare scenario, is if maybe I don't even know if you can do it, but if you can you just they have your sperm frozen,
right,
these eggs, and maybe they just got this big bucket of Kanye sperm and they are just deciding to have kids without him really being involved. I don't know. Or maybe he has suspicions that they're not his kids, because he does talk a lot about Drake made these diss songs in Sicko Mode, and back when he was beefing hard with Drake in 2018 or 2019. Drake was always hinting at that Kim had cheated on Kanye with Drake, and it really drove Kanye insane. And he even says it's not the act itself. He's just I just want you to tell me if it happened or not. But Drake just kept playing games. He would do a rhyme in a song where he'd hint at that he'd slept with Kim, and then he'd apologize to Kanye on text, and then he'd do another hint. He keeps doing this, and he even did it in his he just released an album with 21 Savage, and he put another Kanye diss in there where he's hinting at having sex with Kim. So Drake I'm really getting fed up with Drake, because Drake just keeps playing games with Kanye and keeps messing with the family, and he seems to just do it for his own satisfaction. It's not like Kanye's coming after Drake's kids or anything. Kanye and Pusha T were the ones who revealed to the world that Drake was hiding a kid. But it's now that they've done that, they don't want any beef with Drake. But Drake just keeps hinting. He keeps spreading this rumor, like, oh, Kim cheated, and oh, I'm gonna take your girl, and like, so I don't know. Like, that's why I say Kanye is like the most emotionally harassed man on the planet. Like, half the world hates him, and then celebrities are always bashing him. His friends turn on him all the time.
Yeah, and when he's gone through lawyers in his divorce, he's gone through how many?
Yeah, and that's the thing. He keeps getting sick of all the people that want to do things, the way it's supposed to be. That's how he would describe it. He in his it must have been 2013, 2014 interview with Zane Lowe. It's right after the album Yeezus came out. He tells that famous story that when he was dropping WME, they told him to go sit with Ari Emanuel, and then this became a meme. But he tells the story that Kanye was saying, I don't want to just be a spokesperson. I want to create products. Kanye considers himself like a designer at heart. He considers himself a designer, an architect, an enabler. He doesn't want to do it all himself, but what he wants to do is revolutionize the world, and he's trying to use his Donda company / foundation to he's recruiting people to his company. He's got a basketball team. He's trying to create schools. He's trying to create, new churches. He's trying to do everything. He's trying to rebuild like society brick by brick. Essentially, if you get down to it, like he wants to reestablish, he wants to create an alternative to Planned Parenthood that helps pregnant women, if they want to keep their kids, they have a place they can go and have the kid. He basically is trying to implement a form of socialism or corporate, let's say private socialism funded by Kanye, but he keeps. Just to the WME story, he sat down with Ari Emanuel, and Ari Emanuel, he's, according to Kanye, allegedly, Ari Emanuel said, well, let me tell you, this is the way things work. We have products over here, and those are done by product people. And then celebrities are over here, and they can endorse the products, but celebrities can never make products. And that's when Kanye makes the joke. It went viral as a meme when he says, Lady Gaga is the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs, but what the hell does Lady Gaga know about cameras? And, Kanye doesn't want to do that surface level stuff. He doesn't want to do Sprite commercials. He doesn't want to do McDonald's commercials. He wants to. Well,
he doesn't have to worry about it now because I don't think anybody's asking.
Yeah, now he's not. Now, luckily,
Now, what about Trump 2024? Do you think Kanye's going to announce he's running for president?
Well, he's wearing a hat everywhere that says 2024. And if you can find the latest drink, I have on my SoundCloud, I ripped the audio and I put it on my SoundCloud. If you go to the Cancer Merchant or Dave O. Matthias SoundCloud, I got a copy there. But this latest Drink Champs episode was where he was really going off on the Jewish stuff, and he just kept talking about Jews the whole time. If I was Kanye's campaign manager, I would have really told him to tone it down and try to articulate his thoughts in a different way. But it's a 3-hour podcast, and he keeps going on and on about it. But he was real. They kept asking him, and basically he kind of gives a can neither confirm nor deny answer. Like when they say, so are you running in 2024? He's like, or he just says, wait and see in 2024. I'm going to run. I can't give many details, but I'm going to run. So and then, he's been photographed. Not only did he meet with Trump and do all that stuff, but he was photographed one time. You ever seen him where he wears the white masks out in public? Like a mask of a white man's face?
No.
No? Oh, sometimes he wears this rubber mask of a white man's face, and so that he can blend in, or so that people don't recognize him. And there was a photo from maybe a year ago where he was, I think it was Steve Mnuchin or who's another guy who's high up in Trump's camp? Can you name? He was caught.
Pompeo? No,
it was not Pompeo, but it was another. It might have been Mnuchin. I think it was Mnuchin. I'd have to Google it, but he's been photographed even since Trump stepped down. He's been photographed, since Trump left office, he's been seen meeting with some of those figures. So what I'm really wondering, he is going to run. I'm just wondering, is he going to try to run as a Democrat? I don't think he'll run he wouldn't try to run as a Democrat because those are his enemy. He's trying to flip the black vote to either go Republican and create a coalition or, get a strong enough government that he can actually pass things through and not just have everything filibustered or whatever. Or if he's going to run as an independent just to mess up the whole game. I don't know. He's doing some real can neither confirm nor deny things when people ask him. So it sounds like he has some real serious plans, and this isn't just a joke. It's like he has real political ambitions, and he's like meeting with strategists and stuff and building a team. You just can't say what the exact plan is, but basically admitted it.
The difficulty is getting your name on the ballot. That's because otherwise I'd be running.
But this is another thing.
You need a party for that.
But this is another thing. Yeah. On the Drink Champs podcast, the one from a year ago, he was complaining a lot, saying they never get my net worth right. He said it took them forever to call me a billionaire, and then they finally called me a billionaire, but I've already been a billionaire for like 3 years. And then he said, I'm worth $8 billion right now. He said, I had to do a lot of digging. No one will ever tell me how much I'm worth. And finally I got an answer. I'm worth $8 billion. That was what he claimed he had a year ago. However, that's worth. That's how much you're worth. So that's tied up in stock options and stuff. He did say in his Piers Morgan interview from this week or last week, whenever it was, the recent one, he did say that he only has about 140 million liquid cash. He has 140 million in cash, but apparently he was worth $8 billion, and now they're claiming he lost $2 billion overnight when Adidas dropped him. But you know what that means? He explained it on the Piers Morgan interview. His contract is that he gets $500 million licensing fee every year. So they canceled it, and he had 4 more years left on the contract. So I don't really understand. They said he lost $2 billion in value overnight, but I was checking out the Adidas stock, and it's really strange because the Adidas stock basically lost half its value over the past year, but it started going up ever since this Kanye drama happened. And I mean, not when they dropped Kanye. It started going up when Kanye started going crazy recently and getting media hype. So they're claiming he lost $2 billion in that. That's what Dave Chappelle said in the SNL monologue the other night. But I don't think it makes sense that it's that he lost $2 billion in share value, the way most billionaires lose money, the way you'll hear about Elon Musk wiping out like his net worth with a tweet. I think all they're saying is that they canceled the contract, which means they're not going to collaborate for 4 more years, and he's not going to get his $500 million yearly. So I don't think he's actually lost any money. I think he just lost out on potential money that was going to come with his Adidas deal. But that's what makes me wonder. He might be doing this on purpose just to make all his contracts be severed.
Right.
I think he's like just trying to provoke the media as much as possible to force all. I think he wants to be a free man. He wants to get rid of all of his handlers. He wants to get rid of all of his. He doesn't want to have to answer to the Adidas board anymore. So I think he's probably doing this on purpose. He's probably being intentionally provocative when he's just saying these outlandish things like Jews control the media. He's trying to say something more nuanced than that. He's not literally saying there's a Jewish cabal that nefarious. All he's saying is that Hollywood's full of a lot of Jews, and that the managers and the agents and the studios, whether Jewish or not, all those people are always in cahoots, and it's always the artist that gets screwed over. Dave Chappelle will tell you about this. He talks about the 3-card Monty in one of his specials, and he says that's what Hollywood is. It's always a 3-card. That's why he walked away from Chappelle's show, because he said he realized my managers and my agents and Comedy Central and Viacom, they're all on the same team, right, and I'm always the enemy. And
but the thing is, it's so dangerous. I have a lot of contact with the public, emails, messages, texts all day long. Okay. And the anti-Semitism is real out there, man. Okay, I'm not even Jewish, and I get crap. Okay, yeah. The bagel guy, they call me, the New York Jew, all this stuff constantly. Okay, so if this is a danger, if he's using this as some kind of tactic to get out of his contracts, this is the most dangerous thing you could do.
But if you watch his Drink Champs interviews, he has nothing to lose. He literally says, You're gonna have to come and find me hanging from a doorknob. In the first Drink Champs interview from a year ago, he basically said they're gonna have to suicide me to shut me up because I'm not gonna stop from my mission to change the world. So, yeah, I mean, getting, yeah, okay, sure. Like,
okay,
but this is Kanye. He literally he walks around with no security now. He literally doesn't give a crap anymore. Like,
but he's also alluding that his mother's death was a sacrifice. And do you buy that?
Dude, I called it on your podcast. That's
you did?
We talked about in January. I was claiming it. I have a Twitter thread from like a year ago, maybe not, a little less than a year ago, but I called it a long time ago. I had a thread that went that got a little bit of attention from my followers where I was claiming this like 8 months ago, and people were bashing me. They were saying, "Oh, that's crazy. You're such a delusional Kanye fan. You're making up these conspiracies that aren't there, or like, how could you be so insensitive to Kanye?" And then what do you know? Kanye himself is now saying it. So, I mean...
What do you make of this? Because a lot of people are asking me about this too. Harley Pasternak. Who is he, first of all?
Well, I heard Kanye on Drink Champs. He mentioned that Harley is Lizzo's trainer. That's all I really know about him. But I know that he is the guy that got Kanye hospitalized the first time.
Oh, really?
On the one we were just talking about, the St. Pablo tour in 2016. So he is the guy that 5150'd Kanye the first time in California. So it wasn't the Kardashians that forced him to go to the hospital. It was this Haley guy, according to Kanye. So he says he's the guy that put me in the mental hospital the first time. He's the guy that got me zombied out on drugs. And that's what Kanye says. He talked about it on Joe Rogan when he went on Joe Rogan. That's another legendary interview that people need to watch. He talks about that, about how he was put on meds and he just became a zombie, and he lost all his confidence and all his superpowers. Then he finally got off the meds, and he started becoming his old self again. And he was trying to balance the two, his true self and the family man he wants to be. But now there's family drama where Kim wants to divorce him, so that makes him go a little crazy. But hey, I mean, divorce does crazy people think, or makes people go crazy, right? It's not the funnest experience in the world. But
why do you think that all these athletes and other celebrities are all what do you call it, cutting ties with Kanye?
Well, it's pressure from the representatives, man. It's pressure from the industry. When Kanye says something provocative, everyone's manager gets on the phone, or, all of Kanye's friends, the press wants to hear from they call up Big Sean, they call up John Legend, they call up, Kid Cudi, they call up all of Kanye's collaborators and friends and say, "What do you think? Do you condemn Kanye's atrocious remarks?" And then usually they give into the industry pressure, and that's why Kanye, he talks a lot of crap about a lot of his former on the Drink Champs. He made fun of Big Sean a lot, the rapper Big Sean, who was a rapper that Kanye signed originally, and then Big Sean turned on him over, and Kanye's interpretation of that is that it's just pressure from their handlers and their managers, their agents, their publicists. If you're Big Sean, or let's say you're John Legend and you're sitting at home with Chrissy Teigen and Kanye puts on the MAGA hat, well, your publicist calls you up and says, "Hey, there's 20 outlets that want to hear what you have to say, John Legend." And what do you think he's going to say? He does what the publicist tells him to say. You got to condemn Kanye, you got to do it. And then Kanye drops friends over that. So he's lost a lot of friends over the years. A lot of people he collaborated with, Big Sean, Kid Cudi, John Legend, those are three people he's not friends with anymore because of what they bashed him in the media. But hey, I think, that when you're famous, you're surrounded by a bunch of people who rely on you to make money, and they pressure you a lot. That's why Dave Chappelle ran to Africa, He couldn't take the gaslighting from, you got a manager, an agent, a publicist, a lawyer, the studio, the producers, and they're all gaslighting you into the same thing, and that can break someone.
How does a Harley Pasternak? How does he have the ability to have somebody 5150 and dictate their medication? How does he?
Because he is Kanye. He was Kanye's trainer. He's been Kanye's trainer the whole time. He is Kanye's personal trainer.
Yeah, a trainer, but a trainer can't.
Well, no, anyone can. I was 5150 before in LA. I had friends just do it.
Just friends.
Yeah, friends of 5150 me.
Really?
So yeah, I've been 5150 by a friend before. So it doesn't need to be immediate.
But they couldn't dictate your medication.
Sure, but he's also Kanye's personal trainer, and he's also stayed in the Kardashian family and he stayed as even though he's the one who 5150'd Kanye, he's remained Kanye's personal trainer up until now. So they've still kept. It's only right now that their relationship has fallen apart.
And how do we know for a fact that he's the one who did it the first time?
Because Kanye said that. We have to. It's if you believe Kanye or not. But if you watch the Drink Champs interviews, the latest one, I mean, they pulled it off the internet. But if you can find a re-upload, or if you listen to the audio on my SoundCloud page, then he says this guy is my trainer. But now I think when those texts that we see, like, that's the thing. That's why you saw the text messages.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I have them up too, and I mean, gosh darn, are they? It's to me. I want to read that part. Should I just read the whole thing out loud, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to help you in a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words, and everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff that a dumb friend of yours told you or saw in a tweet. Then this is where it gets dark. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you, and you go back to zombie land forever. Playdate with the kids just won't be the same. And I mean, come on, man, is that not like... No. And these are real texts. This guy is not disputing, this guy is not disputing that he didn't text this. These are real texts.
No, I think Kanye posted it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Kanye kept this guy as his personal trainer up until this moment when I think this is him firing him, basically.
What do you think he means when he says play date with the kids?
Well, because as I said, Kanye, his biggest struggle right now is he's trying to reconnect with his family.
But you don't have a play date with your own kids.
Well, but that's what it is right now. That's what Kanye has to get, like, supervised visitation with his kid. Like, he can't – it's not real joint custody. It's like they have the kids, and he can go over there, and he can pop up on the reality show and hang – that's the thing. It's like he basically – it's not a real family. It's a TV show, you know? And now he's just been downgraded to a supporting player, and that's the only way that he can hang out with his kids is if it's for the show. And, like, so – have you ever seen Kanye out alone with his kids? It's always with Kim. Kim has full custody. So he does literally, he only gets play dates that are with, and then again, there's always handlers around. If it's not Kim there, if it's not Chris there, if it's not an immediate Kardashian family member, then there's nannies there. And he accuses a lot of the nannies of being, crypto handlers, having, secret agenda or, other ultimate agendas going on. So he basically just thinks that whole house is a house of vipers, and he wants to get his kids out of there. That's why, he freaked out when Kim has posted, like, TikToks of his kids and all this goth makeup, and like, he freaked out, and he's like, you got to get approval from me. Like, how come you get to decide what North is only like 8 years old, and Kim's already trying to make North an influencer and do all these TikToks, and Kanye he says, you just need to involve me at least. He's like, it's not like they can't be on social media, but you need to involve the father. You can't just make all those, you can't just decide, oh yeah, North is going to do a influencer deal with McDonald's and not involve the father.
Well, is there a court order in place as far as custody goes?
I don't know. I haven't heard him say anything specific, but I mean...
Does he have an attorney right now?
I don't know.
Because wasn't he talking to the attorney for Johnny Depp?
He has tons of attorneys, I mean, to handle his Adidas stuff and all of his empire. So he has tons of attorneys, but I don't know. I haven't heard him specifically talk about what the custody situation is. Maybe that's the one thing he just doesn't bring up. I don't know. Maybe he also, if you watch the Drink Champs interview, he keeps trying to diss the publicist, but they anytime he says her name, they edited it out or bleeped it. So he's also, like, I think they're giving a lot of threats about slander and stuff, so he has to be careful. He talks crap about the publicist. I think her name is Tracy.
Well, let's bleep it out here too, because publicists have an insane amount of power, man. You have no idea.
Okay, Kardashian's publicist. She's literally on the show. She's on the show. So
okay,
I mean, whatever, man. I don't.
Yeah, well, let me give you a little background here. I knew all about Bruce Jenner and the sex change back in 2009. You know, like
what year did it happen?
what's it? Years later.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't even speculated about back in 2009.
Yeah.
So the Kardashian family, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in that house with those people.
What is the deal with that? Like, because they're so hungry for attention that like, what's the deal with that? Because it didn't seem like Caitlyn Jenner had the best motives with her reveal and her whole transition. She seems to still be, but I mean,
and bizarre too how now she is a big Trump supporter as well.
Yeah, and wasn't she trying to run for office?
Yeah, because she ran for governor. Wait, get this: she ran for governor and she had Trump's mailing list.
Right.
Because I'm on Trump's mailing list and I started getting mail from her. There's no other way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
And got support from that Sean Hannity character. All these guys, Steve Mnuchin, now he's, what do you call it? He was on Jean-Luc Brunel, the modeling agent there that just died in France, right? Yeah. Steve Mnuchin hung out with that guy all the time, and he was on the corporation papers, So any allegations about Kanye in that kind of area, playdate with kids, Steve Mnuchin? Anything going on? Any allegations?
Wait, play date with kids?
Yeah.
Are you trying to say that that's some pedo?
It sticks out to me, man. Who has a play date with their own kids?
Well, Kanye. Yeah, maybe they could be talking about child trafficking. I don't know. I don't think so. I just based on how many hours of interviews I've watched Kanye like literally cry, like be really emotional about the fact that like he's restricted from seeing his own children, I am going to not go Epstein brain on that phrase, but you can if you want.
No, because especially if you're typing to someone, you don't want to come right out and threaten it with something. You kind of you type in code, But
true, but I mean,
and his the medication is going to send him back to zombie land, which would affect his play date with kids.
Well, but it just means that the only time that the family was together was when Kanye was drugged.
No, I know I'm sure I get what you're saying.
Now he's off the meds, but yeah. Hey, I don't know, man. Yeah, I've had lots of people say like, "Hey, Kanye's not a good guy. He's actually a pedophile, Illuminati member." And hey, leave that if you want. I choose not to. I actually watch all of his interviews, and trust me, I'm not just blinded by my own fandom of his music. Like I invest my time to figure out what's going on with this guy, and I try to be, but it's just gone too far now. It's too much that I don't know. I can't really even entertain those anymore just because I've watched the Drink Champs interviews are 3 hours long each.
Wow.
So, and then the Joe Rogan one is like 3 hours. So there's like 9 hours of like real like Kanye therapy you can go watch if you're willing to watch it. But, the media is never going to clip the moments that show Kanye's humanity. They always just take the provocative line, and they always just cut it out of context. Like, I got so mad about the TMZ one. I still can't get over the whole slavery was a choice one, and then we all got mad about that. Because he was very clearly just making a metaphor. He immediately corrected himself. He said, actually, I don't want to say slavery because that's too provocative. I'll use jail instead. It's like we're all... it's like we're all in prison, but we don't want to free ourselves. He literally corrected himself and said, "I'm sorry for using slavery as an analogy," and they still soundbited it and canceled him for it. So I'm just like, I'm sorry. I actually watched the full source material. I don't follow because the press is always just going to look for the most provocative little soundbite, and they're going to cut out all the context, and that's the only thing they post. So. You really only hear like they're very vicious to Kanye. The press is very, very vicious to him. Dude, this is my opinion on him. He is the Muhammad Ali of our generation. That's what I compare him to. So the same way.
Yeah, but you know what, man? You weren't alive when Muhammad Ali was. You know what I mean? Okay. You really Muhammad Ali. It was, it's civil. The guy.
Are you saying Kanye could never live up to Ali?
The conditions are different. The conditions in society are different.
But I mean it as a metaphor of like a celebrity who's willing to sacrifice their own success to do what they feel and isn't going to just give into the pressure.
Would Kanye go to jail for 2 years and give up his career for 2 years and the prime of his life? I don't know if he would. Do you
Well,
think
I mean, as I just said, he's literally saying they'll have to.
because he can, right?
They're saying they'll have to suicide me to shut me up. So I mean, if he's willing to die, there's a part in the drink he says, "Come and get me, come get me." He's saying, "Don't get anyone else. Don't attack my friends. Don't go after my family. And he literally says like, "Come get me." And then that's when he says, "Man, they're gonna have to find me like hanging from a doorknob, saying that I was drugged the f out and on a bunch of drugs. They're gonna have to do that to shut me up. But I am not shutting up." So. Yeah, I do think he would go to jail. I don't know. I honestly do.
Explain to me, what is the Donda School?
And by the way, he literally has a song on Donda, the Donda 1 album. The opening track is called Jail. And the chorus says, "Guess who's going to jail tonight?" And he got that hook from Prince. So he literally has a song saying, "Guess who's going to jail tonight?" So his own music answers your question.
It's easy to say you're willing to do it, but
sure.
Yeah. The Donda School. What is the Donda School? He had a school?
Yeah, he's trying to start a school.
Oh, start. Okay.
No, he has started it. I think it's. I think he's like prototyping it now, where it's basically like an alternative school. And I don't want to get into that too much, but again, he's just trying to revolutionize every institution in society. And part of it was school. He says, all I can say with school is he basically just wants to make it less boring. He wants to make it more modern. He says he wants to teach people real life skills. He wants to give kids a well-rounded education in real life. He wants them to understand physics and science and how things are built. So I think he wants to make a kind of the same stuff that all the libs talk about and say, "Oh, we gotta modernize education and digitize and give kids iPads and make everything an app." And he's trying to do that, but in a way that's not just about funneling money to Silicon Valley, but about he really is trying to, protect the kids. His first album is called College Dropout, so he's a guy who's like a musical genius, but he hated school. So he's trying to like create a new school, I think, where people don't get shut out so much. And also, of course, a big thing with it is he wants to go into the inner cities and save the inner cities because he's from Chicago. So he's trying to start a school. He knows that the public schools are all horrible and they don't help the kids in the inner cities. So he's trying to use his own money to create an alternative school. And he wants to make it like free, like a private school, but like a charter school or whatever. But people can go there free. And and then he just says that he wants to do a different curriculum that prepares children for the future, but also teaches them to be like good citizens and stuff, and all that jazz.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say, we were talking about the trainer. The one thing I want to mention, did you see that clip of him sitting in the car, the one when he said his mom is sacrificed? And did you see that he literally called the guy Canadian intelligence? I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he said it. If you go find the clip, search Kanye mom sacrificed. It's like a 9-minute interview, the whole thing. And he's just sitting in a car. I think it's in the parking lot of a hotel or something. And he's just being interviewed by a few paparazzi. Now he works with the paparazzi. He has his own guys. So he doesn't punch paparazzi anymore because he has his own guys he works with now. And also, people don't – something no one ever talks about is that Kanye literally got the paparazzi laws changed. It was him and Kim. Like they changed – isn't this true that they changed paparazzi laws that you can't like – chase people down like they used to in the aughts?
I'm not aware of paparazzi laws being changed.
Well, he's claimed it, that it used to be, if you remember the Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan days, they used to be able to get an upskirt, or they could, chase you all the way up to your own driveway trying to get a picture. And now apparently Kanye and Kim together fought to at least change the law in California, so that you can't, like, that it's considered, stalking if you're a paparazzi. So all the celebrities in Hollywood have Kanye to thank that they're not getting crotch shots anymore, like poor Lindsay Lohan or Paris Hilton used to get back in the day,
If this Canadian trainer is intel, I would not be surprised, okay? Because
that's what that's where it's getting crazy, man. Everyone is focusing on him talking about Jews. The media is not talking about. And also, here's another thing that's interesting. When he said, I don't know if you saw this part, but when he said my mom was sacrificed, here's what he also said. He said, look at Michael Jordan. He said they do that. He said, he said my mom was sacrificed. You know what I'm talking about, right? And he says, look at Michael Jordan's dad. Look at Bill Cosby's son. Look what they did to Dr. Dre's son. Look what they did to Michael Jordan's dad. Who else did he say? Look what they did to shoot. I think he says Kobe. I don't know. But he's talking about all these people that have had a loved one die, a son, a parent, because you know the rumors about Michael Jordan, I'm sure, and
well, not yet. There was also a huge settlement too with Michael Jordan, and they usually a follow-up settlement. By the way, Bill Cosby's son, right after his son died, he gets that woman arrested who was claiming to be his daughter. I did a whole show about that with her aunt.
Okay.
That is shady as all get out. And
wait, you're saying he tried to get the daughter arrested?
He got her arrested.
Well, here's the thing. Wouldn't that line up with what Kanye is suggesting, that Bill Cosby's kid was killed as a punishment?
Well, yeah, Bill Cosby's son's death is very, very suspicious. I'll play that show tonight as a repeat. That is sus all the way around. And Cosby lived right next door to Epstein. Did you know that? Yeah, and there's a little cop. There's a little police telephone booth. One of those things where the cops right there. And Cosby is taking passed out women, throwing them in cabs. Yeah. And Epstein's got little girls walking into his house 3 times a day. And the cop is right there.
Wow. Wow. Well, all I know is that Kanye is literally suggesting that, he's saying my mom was killed the same way Michael Jordan's dad was killed, Bill Cosby's son was killed, Dr. Dre's son was killed. And I forget the fourth person he mentions. But so this is what I'm telling you. He's in he has no F's left to give, man. He is like he has gone DEFCON 3, so to speak. He's just saying it all. My mom was murdered. Michael Jordan's dad was murdered. He's saying real schizo stuff, man. He's really going mask off. So I don't know. Then it's I guess in the eye of the beholder if you want to believe he's crazy or if he's spitting truth. I don't know.
Oh boy. Yeah, the Bill Cosby thing too. Just before we, because I'm a little shook up, but also Bill Cosby. All these allegations about Bill Cosby. Mark Ebner was talking about this years and years and years ago. He wrote a whole article about it and it was killed. Okay, then so everyone knew about Bill Cosby drugging these girls.
Yeah.
So, what is the biggest misconception you think people have about Kanye West?
I mean, just in general, like that he's an asshole or like that he's a bad guy, because if you trace all of the controversies that he's had, if you trace them all, going back, what was the first one? George Bush doesn't care about black people, right? He was right. What was the next one? The VMAs, him interrupting Taylor Swift. And I mean, come on, he was drunk. That was not his finest moment, but he was right about it. Beyonce should have won, and he was so fed up. He's talking about it. Yeah, but the reason why, I think it was that they lied to Beyonce and they said you're going to win Video of the Year if you come to the award show. And Kanye says he didn't want to go to the VMAs that night, but his handlers were pressuring him to go. And I'm sure what they said is, hey, Beyonce's going to win. Beyonce's going to win, right? So you got to be there for Beyonce. So and he drowned himself in alcohol because he said he was done with award shows, but his handlers pressured him to go.
Yeah, he walked in with a bottle of cognac.
Yes, with Amber Rose, and she's a suspicious figure.
I'm not familiar. Who is Amber Rose?
Well, it's just weird that she's kind of she's a little like Courtney Love as far as her success, where she was a teenage prostitute,
right?
And and then she's dating Kanye West all of a sudden.
Yeah, people should check out the film "Drugs as Weapons Against Us" by John Potash. And I'm in a little scene at the end where we're talking to Hank Harrison, Courtney Love's father. Courtney Love, when she was 15 years... By the way, I have the Juvenile Hall telephone calls from Courtney Love, exclusively. I'm the only guy in the world that has them. Okay. I was friends with her dad, Hank Harrison. But she went to Ireland. Hank was in Ireland. She went to Ireland with 1,100 hits of LSD, 15 years old, and starts dating a 35-year-old CIA agent. Okay? Yep. And do you know who his brother is?
It's someone sus. Who is it?
Kevin Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank.
Okay. Wow. Okay. No, I didn't. Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
But wow. Yeah. Well. Okay. But just about
Amber Rose. Tell me about her. I never heard the name before.
Well, I have if you search on Rap Game Edward Bernays, I have a little thread where I joke about every time Kanye goes off the rails, they send a former sex worker, fembot, CIA fembot to control him. And he does have. Here's the thing. Kanye's very open about liking strippers and porn stars and prostitutes. Like, I think he just has a soft spot in his heart for sex workers. But, okay, he had a long-term girlfriend up until he got famous. I think they broke up when his mom died. And it was a black girl, right? And then he got with Amber Rose. She was a former teenage prostitute. If you look, that's on her Wikipedia. And she's open about that. Mm-hmm. And then, Kanye went through a dark time there. She was his girlfriend / potential handler throughout that whole VMA thing, throughout that whole thing of Obama calling Kanye a jackass in front of the whole nation, and then if you look at it, then he starts dating Julia Fox. She was a teenage dominatrix, right? Or no, then he's with Kardashian. She wasn't a teenage sex worker, but she was a teenager who grew up in LA. And, there's the rumors of, like, Chloe's OJ's kid and stuff. And then Chris is the one who organized the whole sex tape. So I would consider her, like, kind of in that realm of personas of kind of sus, sexy woman, honeypot. And then you look at the girl he dates after Kim is Julia Fox, who was a teenage dominatrix. So I don't know. Maybe it's just that Kanye really loves sex workers and sex workers who had rough childhoods. But those are also, as you explain, they all have Courtney Love vibes to me,
Yeah, I got something right on the tip of my tongue I would love to say, but I can't. Maybe I'll tell you off the air. But we are out of time. We've been talking to Dave Olsen. You can find him at davidmatthewolsen.com. He's a filmmaker. You can find him on Twitter there at Edward_Bernays.
Two underscores.
Oh, 2 underscores? Okay. Because somebody else has 1 underscore?
Yeah, a bunch of people tried to make copycat accounts when I started getting some traction. So
Dave Olsen, nothing but enemies. He's taking on the whole system. Yeah. Listen, thank you so much, man. Keep me, if something comes up, let me know, man. We'll bring it back.
Yeah, I'd love to come back. I'd love to be your official correspondent. It's truly my passion.
No one else will do it. All right, bro. Talk to you soon. Bye.